I'm in Shenandoah National Park, and this is the Meadow School Trailhead. This is mile marker 57. This is down the Southern District. Yep, there's the Gray Ghost. This is the parking area here. Space for a half dozen cars. Up there, Skyline Drive. And I'm going to close up the Ghost, and we're going to go down this this old road a ways, looking for a couple of old homesteads. They were shown on the 1930s maps. I'll show you that when I do the map talk. The elevation here is 3240. Quarter of a mile into my hike, down to 3,100 feet elevation, and this is the I'm gonna skip this for now, and I'll check it out on my way back up. This is track, I called it track number 546, homestead, over in there somewhere. I don't see anything obvious right now. That's where I came from, the parking quarter of a mile up the mountain there, and following this old trail, it's actually an old road, comes down here and it makes this first left right here, and right over there somewhere here's an old homestead shown. I'll check it out a little more on the way back, but I want to get down here, continue on down the road this way to my primary target down this way, which is another homestead where I actually saw the trace of an old road on Google Earth and also on a LiDAR image. So I'm pretty confident there was a homestead down here. So let's go down here to the main one first, and we'll pick this one up on the way back up. Four-tenths of a mile into my hike, I'm down to 2,960 feet. That's the way I'm headed. And maybe you see is some surveyor's tape on one of those blown down branches there. I just had to navigate around. There's a whole ton of blown down trees right up there, and had to come around them this way. And up that way, there's a couple of trees that are marked with surveyor's tape, I guess, to show you the way around here. But basically, the road comes straight through the blowdown, and then it comes down here, and then it makes a left. And it looks clear over there. So once I get past this nonsense here, it should be smooth hiking. It's been kind of rough so far because there's a tremendous amount of trees blown down here in this district. It seems to me, I do most of my hiking up in the northern and central districts, but man, down here it's really a lot of blown down trees. One mile into my hike, I'm down to 2,630 feet. And that's where I came from, down the Meadow School trail. And I am right at where the intersection of the road coming from this homestead. I'll point it out when I do the map talk. This looks like a stream, but it's not. This is a highly eroded road that came down here and intersect right here. So I'm going to head up this way. It's about, well, it's less than 2/10 of a mile to where the site of the old homestead was. The 1930s map shows the homestead being on the right side of the road going up. So which would be on the east side. So I'm going to follow this. I don't know, there's a lot of trees blown down in there. I'll probably just follow along the rim of the ditch here going up, and we'll see if we can find anything. This is the Meadow Spring trail heading on down towards the bottom of the mountain that way. So, but this is it right here. Let's head up it and see if we can find anything. Well, I'm not making very fast progress. I've switched over to the other side of the road. Here's the road, but it's turned itself into a drainage ditch over the last 100 years. So the Meadow School trails down that way a little ways. So I don't know, I may have to start swinging wide. I'm gonna go over here on this left bank, which is the western side, and hike up that way for a while, see if it's any easier. This side over here's got huge numbers of trees blown down. .2 miles into my hike. The elevation here is 2660. That's the way I'm headed, but I'm at a spot, I'm getting close to where I think the homestead was, within a couple of 100 feet. And when I look up this way, see, that looks kind of cleared out, like it was maybe a driveway going up there. So now the LiDAR image showed this road making a kind of a sweeping turn to the right, but I think I'm from here, since it's only a couple 100 feet, I think I'm just gonna go straight up to where I think it was. Maybe if I look down, I'll see the road down there. This is the way I came. It's been kind of rough going. It's kind of wet and squishy down through here. So if you decide to do this, right now everything's covered with leaves, so you can't really tell if anything's wet until you step in it. Anyway, that's where I came from. I'm gonna make a turn right here. You'll see it on my GPS track, and head up this way. .2 miles into my hike. The elevation here is 2670, and I'm standing in the road or the driveway, and then there is a big pile of rocks, and it was only about 30 feet off from the 1930 map, which is incredible. So there's one there, and I see some more rock piles on the other side of this driveway, so I'll get some pictures of those. Note to myself, I repositioned the marker for this homestead to coincide with this first pile of rocks here. I'm going to call this as rock pile number 1 right here. So I'm going to look around and see what else I can find. Okay, here's rock pile number 2. It's south of the first one, and it's as big, if not bigger, than the first one. First one is over there on the other side of this big blown down tree right there, through the fork in the trees. That's the first one. Here's the second one, and I'm gonna look around, might be a few more. Okay, well, here's another rock pile. It's smaller and hard to see because it's covered with leaves right now, but there's one. There's the second one right there. So the first one's down there, the second one's right here. This is the third one, And actually, I'm going to walk down this way too, because I think I see another one down this way. Yeah, here's another pile of rocks. It's not as big as the main two, but here's another one. I'm going to get in a little different spot, and then I'm going to do a slow 360 so you can get use your imagination and see what this might have been like years ago when somebody lived here. Okay, you have to use your imagination, but there's a second big rock pile right there. And let me look at my compass for a minute. We're looking to the north. Down there's the lower terrain. Okay, now we're looking to the east, so the sun would have come up there. Here's your higher terrain up here. There's one of the mountain peaks there. I'm not sure which one it is, but anyway. All right, let's look into the west. That's where I came from. And then back around to the north. Okay, there's another rock pile there on the opposite side of the road. Here's the road I came in on. Up that way is one of the two big rock piles. And just like I saw on the LiDAR image, it makes this road continues on, makes a sweeping turn to the right. And then I guess judging by that mountain straight ahead, it must, when it gets down there, it must sweep back around to the left and follow the elevation of the mountain heading up that way. I'll try and point that out on the map. So the homestead, the way best I can tell from the rock piles, the homestead was on the inside of the turn. Okay, well there's a galvanized bucket turned upside down after 100 years. It must have been sitting right side up and the bottom rusted out of it, I guess. And actually, I think I see another one up there. Let's go up there and check that one out. Well, here's another one. This one's sitting right side up. Still got a handle on it. .3 miles into my hike, I'm climbing the mountain. I'm back up to 3,070 feet. And let's see, that's where I came from. Down there was that homestead that I found the rock piles, almost a mile down that way. And I'm within about 200 feet of this upper homestead. And I'm going to mark this spot right here and compare it to the map when I get home. Here's the road coming down from the gap, coming down the road, and right there, now that I'm coming up from the bottom, I can see that's a sweeping turn to the right until you get right to there, and then it looks to me like they dug it out up to there, and then it looks like it probably turned to the left and headed down over this way somewhere. I'm kind of beaten. I've got to get up to my car still. So I don't know. I think I'm just gonna and I didn't see anything on Google Earth or LiDAR. So if there's anything over there, it's nothing major. But anyway, I'm gonna mark this turn off. We'll compare that just for fun. We'll compare that with the old map from the 1930s. Meanwhile, I've got to get back up to my car up here. This is a map of today's hike. The quadrangle name is Fletcher, 1999. And this was a bushwhack looking for a homestead location off the Meadow School Trail. This was track number 518, and the owner was Koontz, Koontz, 638 acres. This red line is Skyline Drive, and you park right here. There's a trailhead parking here for the Meadow School Trail, which is this trail right here, heading down the west side of the mountain. So you park here, start following this down. Now when I got down to here, I'll show you an earlier map in a minute from 1930. There was a homestead location shown here and also down here. I really couldn't find much information online about this one, but there was a fair amount of information on this one. Also, this road down here, this abandoned road, I was able to see that with Google Earth and also some LiDAR images, so I knew there was something down here. When I came down here, I didn't notice much at all on my way down. So I skipped that and came on down to right here. And this is where the Meadow School Trail continues on down the west side of the mountain like this. But you'll see it looks like a drainage ditch that intersects the road here. But really, I'll show you the old map in a minute, but it's really the old road that's turned itself into a ditch over the last 100 years. So I bushwhacked on up this to this location, looked around, and I did find a bunch of rock piles and two different rusted out galvanized steel buckets. Turned around, came back up the mountain. Now on the way back up, I did notice that coming down there is a sweeping turn to the right towards this area. So I may go back sometime and take a look over here. I didn't really see anything in this area just looking from the road here, but there's definitely a driveway that cuts over this way. Continued on back up to my car here. Now let me show you the old map where I got these locations from. This is Madison, 1930. And for reference, this is where I parked. This is the beginning of the trail here. And there, that little square is the first homestead. And then down here's the second one, right there. Fairly short, but it was kind of steep in some places. End up being 2.5 miles and a total ascent of 643 feet. And that was the hike for today.